Okay guys, welcome back to another movie review, and today I got Rise of the Planet of the Apes. This movie was incredibly badass. This movie was awesome. I typically don't really like sad movies. If I think a movie is going to be sad, I usually tend to avoid it. Like that movie 50-50 with Seth Rogen and that other guy. And I figured that looks like it could be kind of sad, so in this movie I thought they may mistreat the monkeys and I don't want to see all that. But I watched it anyways because I thought it's a really cool story. I do like the Planet of the Apes series and idea as a whole. So I thought I'd give it a shot, and while there is some stuff like that, it's nothing really bad. Basically, the movie is James Franco is a scientist, and his father, John Lithgow, has Alzheimer's. And he wants to develop a cure. So he's working in a lab. They've been testing these cures on chimps to try and find a way to reverse Alzheimer's. And one of the chimps goes crazy, and they have to shut the experiment down. And they have to kill off all the monkeys, but one of them had... the monkey that went crazy that the medicine was working on had a kid. So he doesn't want to kill it, so he takes it home, and in like 3 years it's a super smart monkey, and he names it Caesar. The monkey can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So time passes, and since they're shutting it down and his dad's getting worse and he's really on the edge here, he decides to just inject him with the drug anyways because he sees that it works for the monkey. So he injects his dad with the drug, and his dad improves. He starts getting better. The Alzheimer's goes away, and not only does he fix the disease and cure it, his dad improves. He gets smarter. So 5 more years pass, and he's raising this monkey, and Caesar starts to realize what he is. They take him to the redwoods in San Francisco, and they let him climb the trees all the time. But when he's leaving one day, he sees a dog on a leash, and Caesar realizes he's also on a leash, and he's a pet. But he loves James Franco. He sees him as his father. And one day they find out that the disease is actually beating the cure. So John Lithgow gets worse, and he goes out and he gets in the neighbor's car, and he starts driving it and wrecking into cars, and the neighbor comes out and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he starts pushing him, and Caesar sees all this from the window, and he jumps out and he starts beating the crap out of this guy. He bites his finger off. So the police come and they take Caesar and they put him in a animal shelter place where they mistreat the monkeys. It's nothing really bad. Caesar's played by Gollum from Lord of the Rings, Andy Serkis, I guess is how you pronounce his last name. But yeah, he's played by Gollum, so he has all these good facial expressions. It was really just him in one of those suits acting out all of Caesar's parts. So they don't really mistreat the monkeys too bad, so it's nothing that you would be like, oh, this movie. Because stuff like that where they mistreat animals, I don't like watching that, but they didn't do anything really bad in this movie. And he actually gets the other monkeys to respect him because he's so smart. They have this big gorilla, an orangutan that can sign, and he starts to talk to these other monkeys, and they start to come under his leadership. So Caesar starts to plan an escape, and James Franco, he's telling the corporation that he's got a new cure that's even better, it's even stronger than the last one, it can beat the disease. But sadly, his dad, John Lithgow, dies. He doesn't want the cure. He doesn't want any more cures. He just wants to go peacefully. So he dies, and James Franco's really upset. So he goes and he bribes the animal people to get Caesar back because he wants to have... He can't lose both of them. He can't lose his dad and Caesar, who's like his son. But Caesar realizes that he wants to go home with him, but he can't. He can't leave his fellow monkeys behind. So... his dad, or James Franco, takes home the new drug because he was going to give it to his dad. So it's still in the fridge. And Caesar breaks out of the prison at night, and he goes back home and he finds it because he realizes these monkeys, they're not as smart as me. The orangutan is, the gorilla is, well, not the gorilla, but the others, I have to teach them to be smarter. So he grabs the chemical and he takes it back and he rolls this spray down the aisle, and all the monkeys breathe it in. So they get really smart. And one night, one of the guys who kind of abuses the monkeys, he's got like this electrical rod. Caesar sneaks out of his cage and he sees him. And he goes and starts hitting him with the rod, and then Caesar grabs his hand and he's like, "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape," from the first movie. And Caesar says no. And he can actually speak now. So this part was badass. So he rallies up all these monkeys, the gorillas and all the others. He sets them free. They beat the hell out of these other guys, the people abusing them, and then they just run amok in the city. They break the monkeys out of the zoo. They start to use weapons. They can make like spears and stuff, and it's just really awesome. Is there something else I'm forgetting that happened in the meantime? So, I don't think so. So anyway, James Franco sees all this happening. He finds one of the guys at the shelter because he went to see Caesar, and he says he spoke. So James Franco's like, oh my God, something's going on here. Because Caesar also inhaled the drug that was stronger. So now he's even better than before. So they're running amok on the city. They're fighting the cops. They get to the San Francisco Bridge. And the monkeys are being chased by police. And there's a helicopter that's trying to shoot them. So Caesar tells some of them to go up and hide in the fog. The others to go hide underneath. And then Caesar's going to push through with the rest of the monkeys. So they fight all these cops off. They're really smart. It was just so cool to see these monkeys take over. They make it to the redwoods. James Franco shows up. He was chasing Caesar the whole time, and he says, "Caesar, you got to stop this. Come home with me. We can fix this." There's no way they can fix this now. But he says, "We can fix this." And Caesar says, "Caesar is home." And he's like, "Okay. That's all." So that was it, and it was really cool. They had like one monkey with a scar on his face, and the gorilla risked his life to save Caesar. It's just a bunch of cool stuff. I really, really like this movie. And at the end, we find out that the Alzheimer's disease that they were giving a cure for, the cure only works on the chimps to improve their brains because they have such strong immune systems. For humans, it actually kills us. It's a airborne virus. One of the guys who works at the lab gets it, and he sneezes on another guy, and then he gets it. So it's slowly going to kill out all the people anyway. To top it off, you got the monkeys taking over. So that's how the monkeys take over the planet. And they did allude to the fact that there are people traveling to Mars, and they're lost in space. So it kind of sets up the first movie. So it was really cool, and I read online that they're doing sequels for this, which I think is awesome because I really like this the series, and I thought it was just a really great movie. I got it at the Redbox for like $1, so I highly recommend everybody go watch this movie, especially if you liked any of the other Planet of the Apes, because this is a great movie by itself, but if you're a fan of those, you're really going to like this, I think. So that's my review for this week. I hope you guys like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.